it. We have drama. Drama. And, it wouldn't be the Cave Cast if we didn't have a little bit of anger coming through our voices for something that one in particular individual may have had something to do with. And it's not even me that's angry this time. If y'all don't know, I'm Big Temp. That is Mr. Mike LaFleur on the other. He's not showing his face today, people. I'm just going to let y'all know that. He told me
Hell
he
no.
could not do that. He said he couldn't do it today.
I ain't showing nothing.
So, we are the Cave Cast. We're trying to steer away from basketball.
I'm not. We're going to talk about this.
Well, I'm trying to steer away from basketball. It's as soon as I think I got myself away and I'm out, they pull me right back in. So, anyway, Mike said he's got something to talk about. He been dying to talk about it. He called me early and said, "Hey, I'm a little perturbed. I need to say something. I'm irritated." And I said, "Well, hold on now. We just save it for the show." So, Mike, how would you like to start this today?
Look. This is all I want to say. Look, to you fake Laker / LeBron fans, bro. Listen. And I would even say that even some Laker fans in general, right? Because it's not just the LeBron fans. It's some Laker fans, a lot of Laker fans in general. Listen, I'm a diehard Laker fan. But y'all gotta be the most delusional and ridiculous fan base I have ever seen in my entire life, bro.
Ooh.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. Bro, me saying that the Lakers should focus on Luka and building around Luka is me hyper focusing on LeBron and me being a LeBron hater and all this shit. When it's simply the smart thing to do. Because people keep talking about, because I guess the Lakers have re-signed Jackson Hayes, right?
Okay.
For like a 1-year deal. Really cheap, right? Look, Jackson Hayes is not a world beater. He's a bench player. He'll probably be like because I'm pretty sure they're going to probably sign another big man. He'll probably be like the third option. He's just another big body that they'll probably, keep on the roster in case of injury, right?
Got it.
The problem I have is people was like, when I had said something about it, people talking about, oh, you just like mediocrity, and Rob Pelinka is a horrible GM and but I'm like, bro, the Lakers can't do anything because they're paying a 40-year-old $50 million a year, bro.
You're not the only person who said that.
Bro,
you're not the only person who said that.
Yeah, what exactly? Who are they signing?
They have no money.
In free agency, right? They have no money.
They
Bro,
have no money.
It just makes, this is the delusion part that I be talking about. Like the Lakers, because there was this dude, they on here talking about there was better, free agents out there. They could have they wasted a roster spot. But I'm like, yeah, that could be true. But they also have to have the money to sign those free agents.
That's the problem.
Like, do y'all actually think before you say stuff, bro? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm really tired.
Here's the question you have to ask yourself, Mike. What you are saying is based in rationality, right? It's thinking about how the Lakers cannot afford to pay someone else that could actually do some damage on that roster. A good free agent, right? Something that they would need, like a rim runner, maybe, perhaps, as far as the center goes. Jackson Hayes, we know, is not necessarily that. He tries, but he's not necessarily that, right? but they don't have the money to pay for a guy like that. Not a decent one, right?
To be
And
fair, I like the DeAndre Ayton signing.
I think it's a good signing. I think
I
it's a good
think
signing.
I
I
I
don't think it's a
think
great
him with
signing.
Luka. I think him with Luka, like it's one thing for him to just get him with just because he hasn't really played with a point guard outside of when he was with Chris Paul with the Suns, which
Yeah,
was his best year, right?
it was his
So that's
best
what I'm
year.
saying. It was his best year. So you pair him up with Luka, and he can do a little bit of everything. He's got a nice jump shot.
Yeah.
He can hit the mid range. He can rim run a little bit. He's athletic. So like I like the signing, especially because they didn't even have to pay a crazy amount of money for him.
Yeah. But
So
as far as building the bench though,
oh yeah, I agree.
that's going to be hard to do with no money. I mean,
Exactly.
it is what
I
it
don't
is.
understand how me I don't understand how me saying that and pointing and this ain't even like this part of it isn't even about me not being a fan of LeBron. This is just me looking at the team and how they should move going forward. You're
Okay,
paying
well
a
then
40-year-old $50 million, bro. That's not smart.
and we all know that his numbers don't necessarily lead to wins, especially in the playoffs because look what's happened the last couple years with him in the fourth quarter. It
But
just doesn't.
you know what the thing is? And I agree to an extent, but here's the thing though. For me, it's not even this part of it is not even me necessarily. Look, I don't want LeBron on the Lakers. I don't think that's a secret. Okay, it's not a secret. But the thing is that with Luka on the team, it it highlights it even more because I don't think those two you're not gonna get the max that you can from Luka and LeBron with those two on the team together. I just don't think it's not that it doesn't necessarily I wouldn't say it doesn't necessarily fit, but at the same time, you're playing a it's like an imbalance. Whose
Yeah,
team is it really?
yeah.
You got
And
to
the
worry
thing
about
about it is
satisfying LeBron plus Luca. Like, how are you going? Like, I just don't think it's going to work, bro. They
here's the
play too
thing.
similar.
They do play too similar. The thing about it is with these guys. Okay, here's how I look at it. I am the GM or the owner of a team, and I've got a 40-year-old, maybe 41-year-old plus veteran on my team who, yeah, is putting up a bunch of numbers, but his numbers don't necessarily lead to wins in crunch time. Now I've got a younger guy. How old is Luka? 25? And
26. He
26,
just
right?
turned 26. Yeah.
So, and he has made it to a finals already as the focal point of the team. He's one of the leading scorers in the NBA. Great ball handler, pretty good decision maker, and you have a chance to build this team. Because let's be honest, LeBron's not going to be there for another fucking 4 or 5 years. You need to be building this team, this roster now.
Now, exactly.
You need to be
And
building
that's
this
why,
roster now.
you know what a signing they did, the first signing they did in free agency that I actually really, really, really liked,
Okay,
that's
what?
not getting talked about enough,
Okay,
is
what?
the
Which?
Jake LaRavia signing.
Okay,
That
yeah,
listen. They just lost Dorian Finney-Smith, right?
yes.
He went to Houston. He is literally a better version of him.
Okay,
He's younger. He's significantly younger. He's like 9 years younger than him, right?
okay,
He's cheaper, right?
yeah.
And he's a better offensive player. And he still plays defense.
And that's what you want. You
That's
want
what
young
you
guys.
want.
You want young guys who
Exactly.
are hungry to try to prove themselves. They just need some playing time. You know, You got a guy in Luka who he hasn't hit his prime yet necessarily. I don't think he has. So
And that's the thing. Like,
why
I
not
don't think
organize
that.
that? I was just
No, go
saying, why
ahead. Go
not
ahead.
organize? Why not organize and get that team together? Start building it now, because you're getting ready to be in the situation of losing LeBron, which I don't think is necessarily going to hurt you. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, because like,
All these LeBron fans that are out here, they think that once LeBron leaves, the Lakers are just going to be shit again. And I don't think that's necessarily going to be true if they can get rid of him. If they get rid of him and they can put that money back into their cap, right? They can go out and sign guys to piece around Luka and help him. That's
yeah,
how you work it. LeBron is, look, like I said, the worst thing that could have happened to LA is LeBron James, especially for the real Laker fans. Because Laker fans, every Laker fan that I've ever talked to, which seems like they are one of the, if not the most popular team in the NBA. So there's a lot of them out there. But I have never heard a real Laker fan, guys who were Laker fans before LeBron got there, I've never heard one of them say that they love LeBron and how he's, done so much for the Laker organization. I've never heard that. I've heard people say, yeah, I like him. He's cool. I don't not like him, it's one of those things. But nobody, it's just, he's not organic. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't feel like a Laker. And that's me as a Celtic fan. I can say that, when the Lakers get a guy on their team, he kind of, most of them feel like a Laker. It's kind of like almost embedded in him already, right? LeBron has never felt
right.
like he's never felt like a Laker. Never. He's never felt like a Laker. He always felt like he was the guy on the outside. Sort of like, I'll be honest with you, it's almost like KD on the Golden State Warriors. He never felt like a warrior. Now, mind you, he did win championships there. I'm not knocking him for that.
I don't know.
But it
I think
almost
it might
felt
be
like he
because
wasn't a part of the clique. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not a part of the clique. He's like, he's there. He hangs with them. They cool with him and everything. But when shit got, real, and
I think
that's
I
how
agree with you because I agree with you because of Draymond.
yeah. You know what
But
I'm saying?
I think him, Steph, and Clay though. I think them three I
They
think they were
were, but the
cool.
problem was that
But Dre,
they never
yeah,
stood up to Draymond for KD.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all have to
Which they
forgive me.
wouldn't because yeah. I mean, yeah, it makes
I
sense.
got the dogs and the fireworks are going off, and my dogs are fucking just, they
I'm
can't
dead.
stand them shits. They, but that's what
But
I'm
no,
saying.
man.
It almost feels like he's never been like a part of the clique, right? And the problem is that real Laker fans, I don't think ever really accepted him that way. And maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think I am. I don't think real Laker fans. Most of the guys that I know are Laker fans. I'm the odd man out, right? I'm the Celtic fan, and everybody always says the same shit. But when I ask them about LeBron, they were like, "Man, yeah, it is. It's a pain in the ass because, he's his fans. It's his fans. They kind of dilute what it means to be a Laker." And you know what? I absolutely agree with him. I absolutely agree with him. So what you're saying is right. $50 million going to a player that is 40 plus years old. There's no way in hell you guys should be able to think that you're going to compete, right, in the Western Conference Finals. Now, that doesn't mean it can't happen, but I don't, as tough as the West is, I don't see them being in that top. I think if they might get lucky and be in the top 8. but
Listen,
I don't think they're gonna win it.
I really hope, like, can we just trade LeBron, please, just please, because I really do think I'm being so dead ass. I really do think if they could trade him, they could get some more pieces,
Well,
and then
you
we could
heard.
really start having that conversation. Because look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Luka with Aiden. I really like it. Listen, you still got Reeves. Now I don't know if they're gonna trade Reeves or not. There's still that kind of going around.
Yeah.
I don't think they really want to, but there is a lot of interest in Reeves.
Well,
But
yeah, there is.
like you get a few more. Like I've been hearing about trading for what's that dude for the Pelicans? Herb Jones.
Oh yeah, Herb
I
Jones.
would I would really like that. That would be a great signing, especially for defense. Um
I mean, yes.
I think they need another point guard because outside of Luca, you have um, nobody.
I mean,
And I'm
true.
being literally like, okay, you got Bronny James, but I don't look. I don't think he's going to be like starting or anything. Maybe I don't know. We'll see where the growth is. He might. You never know. Well, he ain't gonna start, obviously, but I'm just saying, like actual playing time. But
I can say this: there has been talk about uh, maybe LeBron being
who?
LeBron being traded to the Mavericks. Have you heard about this?
Yes, I've been hearing that, and the Knicks are another one. I don't see LeBron going to the Knicks though. Um, there was another one too. I don't think the Warriors would. I don't think that would happen. Honestly, they
I
don't
don't
have
think it would
nothing to
work.
trade.
I don't think it would work just for the simple fact that
They
LeBron
don't got
has
shit
to
to
have
trade. No way.
no that he didn't have nothing to trade. But yeah, I have heard the rumors about LeBron to Dallas, right? And
Hey, give us Christie back. Give
the
us
thing,
Max Christie back, and we can have a conversation, baby.
well, here's the thing though. Dallas is saying they're not willing to trade for any trades. They're willing to
The
trade if
buyout,
the buyout,
if he's
right?
bought out, no, 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 no.
You know, they're willing to bring him in
Mm-mm.
if the buyout's there. But I mean, you know what? I think about it. Dallas. If I was Dallas, I'd say the same thing because he's 40 years old. And
Man, if
I,
you don't take that 40-year-old and that 50 million for 1 year and get you a ring for 1 year, and
who
you
him?
good. Yeah.
No, you're not getting a ring with him down there.
Listen. As
You
long as
know
it
it.
look, hold on, but listen to what I'm saying though. If everybody stays healthy, right?
Kyrie
Kyrie
is going to
comes
be
back.
out. He's not going to be back this
No,
season.
listen. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm just
Didn't he
saying
tear
though.
his Achilles? Didn't he tear his Achilles?
I think it was ACL. Well, either way, I don't know.
Even at
But he
that,
might. You never know. You never know. Like we've seen
I
dudes come
don't
back from.
see it happening. And on top of all of that, I think it's
Yeah,
total.
that team is loaded though.
I know they're loaded, and which is
Even
why I
without
think this is why I think this is a move.
even without Kyrie though, they're loaded.
But I think this is a move by LeBron because think about it. He knows that they've got Cooper Flag, they got Kyrie, they got AD. He's already made the comment that Flag is going down there with Hall of Famers. You know, you heard that
Bro,
right. This is a fucking calculated move by LeBron. He
exactly
opted.
why he should go down there.
Yeah, but what
Exactly.
I'm saying is, if I'm Dallas, I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
You heard what Nico said, right? They trying to win a championship within
True,
these next 2 to 3 years.
I get it, but why not make a play for Giannis instead? If that's the case, if you're gonna go after a fucking all star, a
Dad,
superstar, I would not go after LeBron. I'm going after a guy I
Giannis
can get it.
already Giannis ain't going no damn where.
Hey,
I
I'm just
hate to
saying
say it.
they
And
ain't
not
got
only that,
they ain't got shit in Milwaukee going on right now.
they don't. But
They don't
like,
have shit in Milwaukee going on right now. That team's
hold
gonna
on,
be
I'm trying to
bad.
see.
If there's anything I'm pretty much banking on is Milwaukee's not going to be good this year.
Look, that's who I want the Lakers to get.
Yeah, I get
Shit.
it, but how they going to trade for him? Unless you trade LeBron off and he's got a no trade clause.
No, I
Now,
mean,
here's
shit,
the
trade
thing.
LeBron in Milwaukee.
Here's the thing. You could do it anyway though. You could fucking just pay the penalty for the no trade and say, you know what? Yeah, you had a no trade, but we said fuck it. We're willing to
How
bite
much
the
is
bullet.
that?
I don't know. I don't know the details of the contract, but I know that they can get around it and trade him
Oh,
anyway,
it's
and just
okay.
pay. For breaking the contract, they just pay the extra money. They could do it.
Look, I just want the Mavs to give me back Max
Hey,
Christie. That's all I
hey,
want.
I'm gonna say this just like this right into the camera. The greatest thing in life for me would be if the Lakers did do that and trade his ass regardless of that no trade clause and say fuck you and send his ass to Milwaukee for Giannis.
That would be, hey
That
yo,
would be the
you want to talk?
ultimate. That would be the
You want to talk
ultimate
about a
fuck you.
power move?
That
You
would
want
be
to
an
talk about a power
ultimate fuck
move?
you. Yes, by the
They ain't gonna do
ownership.
that shit.
But I'm
They ain't gonna
saying
do
it
that
would
shit.
be an ultimate power move. It would be the ultimate
Here's the
power move.
problem. If it was the new ownership, I would agree. But the problem is the new ownership won't take effect until next year.
True.
So
True.
Jeannie Buss and them still run the show,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So
But you know what they could say? The owner could be like, you know what? Hey, you either make this happen for me before I buy this motherfucker, or
I'm fucking dead.
I'm backing out the deal. I mean,
Hell
fuck you.
no.
He's
Here.
holding all the cards. They don't want to. They apparently want to sell the motherfucker. So, hey, what you gonna do? I mean, yes, they could go and find another buyer, but the other buyer could be like, you know what? He offered to pay $10 billion. I'm not gonna pay that. He backed out for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So now it makes it look like, hey, there's problems, and if there's those kind of problems, well, I need to be compensated if I have to endure these problems. So 10 billion, that's what he bought it for. I tell you what, I'll buy it for 8.5. You know, so now Genie and them lose money. Just saying.
Mm.
Just me, it's just my mind how, things work, because, I'll be damned if I pay
Well,
top dollar for anything.
I'm really looking at this roster. We really don't have another point guard.
You really don't have enough what, point guards?
We don't have another point guard.
No, you don't. You don't. I
Like,
don't know. I don't know what y'all are gonna do, but what I will say is this: y'all are not in this boat by yourself, because I'm looking at Boston, and Boston is gonna suffer this season as well.
oh yeah, Tatum's hurt. You got
Tatum
some
is
other
hurt.
probably losses that y'all done had.
Yeah, we got rid of Porzingis. You got rid of Holiday. A couple other pieces. Cornette's gone. I've been looking to find out if we got rid of Al Horford. It's just,
I heard the Lakers was trying to get him, but I don't know what happened.
yeah, but I mean, it's gonna hurt the Celtics as well this year. So, a lot of it's, like I said, the injury situations and things like that. So, all I can tell you is I feel your pain. I don't feel it the same way you do, but I feel your pain. And a lot of Laker fans, real Laker fans, they feel the pain too, because a lot of them, they thought they were going to be able to come back and start rooting for their Lakers again. Well, a lot of them are like you, will this motherfucker just go away? Why can't he just leave? And I'm like, man.
Yeah, and then like, yeah, they was when I was talking about Jackson Hayes, they was like, talking about like, well, you must like mediocre with him coming on that team, or whatever. And I'm like, nigga, if you think Jackson Hayes being on the team or not is going to determine if we're going to be mediocre or not, you need help. Because regardless if he was on the team or not, he's not going to be a factor to determine that in the first place. So he could be on the team, off the team. He's not going to be a determining factor to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't even make sense, bro. He's a backup. He's a backup.
He's a backup. He's a backup.
Keyword backup.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. It makes no sense to me.
I don't know. I will say this. Right now, the situation in LA, Boston, even I'll even say like Golden State is kind of uncertain because even with Golden State's getting older, or they are older. They have some young guys on that team like Jonathan Kuminga, who could possibly be on the move, right?
Yeah. They was talking about. Did you see there was like a 17 trade possible?
Yeah,
with
I'd
the
heard
Lakers and Suns and Houston and all that.
Yeah, I had heard that. Like I said, there's some influx in these areas, and people are looking at what the Oklahoma City Thunder actually did, right? And they're looking at how they built their team, right? They got one all-star, superstar. You got one guy who's on the verge of being a all-star, They got another young guy, versatile big, other defensive pieces around them, great role players, guys who are, 3-and-D players anyway.
Question.
They're all looking at this, and they should be. I think it's time for these teams like my Celtics, the Lakers, Golden State to start thinking about getting younger, building their rosters again.
I got a question.
What's up?
Do you think would you trade Reeves?
It depends. It depends on the situation. If Reeves is a good player, and
he's a really good, but he can't play defense. That's the problem.
He can't play defense, and
I don't think you can have him and Luka as your backcourt.
You can't.
I really don't.
And that's what I was gonna say, because you can't really put both of them on the court at the same time because they're both a detriment on defense, right? So, if I was the Lakers, I would try to send Reeves somewhere and maybe pick up a guy who is a defender, who has the ability to get better on offense, but we know he's a great defender. He's not gonna be a starter anywhere. He's gonna be like, seventh man coming off the bench maybe. But he's young and he's got the ability to play great defense. That's what they really need. Getting rid of Max Christie really
exactly. You literally read my. I swear to God, you literally just read my mind, bro.
I will say this: the reason why is because Max Christie, he was going to get better as time went on. He was an excellent defender. Well, I won't even say excellent. He was a really good defender with the ability to get better. He was trying to get into that, get into where he was going to be able to get more playing time, develop his shot, develop his confidence.
I'm so mad,
he would have got better. I didn't like the fact that he was involved in that trade.
He would have been the perfect compliment for Luka.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, if it was me, I probably would have got rid of Reeves first.
Exactly. Thank you.
Because
when I said it, I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about.
No, because think about it. People only look at the offensive side of the ball, which pisses me off, which is the whole thing about the T-Mac.
Oh my God, bro.
Which was the T-Mac situation where everybody was, harping for fucking T-Mac. He was doing the same thing that Kobe was doing. Nobody knew who was the best player, and that's a fucking lie because, yes, he was great offensively. He was decent defensively, but he wasn't Kobe on defense. Right?
That's what I was saying. I'm like, y'all ignoring the defensive side of the ball like it don't exist.
But this is how motherfuckers have always done. They always concentrate on the flash. They always concentrate on that. And to me, look, the one thing you can hurt your team with anytime, any place, it does not matter, right? You get on, let's say you're in a game and you're shooting and you're off, right? There are nights like that. It will come back, right? But defense is an effort thing. We know for a fact that defense travels even on the road. The problem is that everybody wants to talk about the offense, and there are nights offense isn't there because your shot's off. You're going through the shit in your head. You got the yips, but there ain't never no nights like that on defense. That's an effort
Yeah,
thing.
it's all about effort.
It's an effort
Exactly.
thing. So what happens is when you talk to these people about this bullshit, they pull up this. He was shooting. He had 32 points a game. Okay, but what was he doing on the defensive side? Because somebody else was scoring big time points, right? And I don't know who McGrady was holding that game, but I will tell you this: McGrady has never made a fucking all defensive team, first or second. So, hey,
man,
and that's why I said
that Max Christie trade breaks my heart.
That's why I was saying with Max Christie, you could have had that, right? We look at these things, and the way I look at it is offensively, defensively. What can you do? If your defense is that good and it's the better part of your game, you can always work on your offense. You can always work on your offense. There's been plenty of guys who have come into the league who weren't great, shooters, but as the time went on, they developed a shot. They got with a shooting coach. The guy told them how to shoot better. He got their form right. Got their feet correct.
That's why. That's why I really like that dude they drafted. That dude from Arkansas.
Yeah.
I really, really like him. Right. And he was a former point guard.
Yeah.
So the thing with him was that they were saying the reason why because he didn't really shoot in college like that. But they was in high school, he was a really good 3-point shooter and ball handler. The problem was that he hit a crazy growth spurt once he hit college, and his hands have been growing like crazy. They say he's got huge hands now, and it's been bothering him with his jump shot because they keep growing and shit like that.
Yeah, it's fucking up his touch. It's fucking up his
exactly.
touch.
So I do Thero. Yeah, I really, really like him because he's one of those dudes that can really defensively. His ceiling is really high, but if he can get that offensive game going, especially with the jump shots, because I think he's a really good finisher at the rim and driving to the basket, and he's an athletic monster. So if he can get a little cool little mid range jump shot, a little pull up. And a little 3-point shot, work on the footwork a little bit. Hey man, with Luka, hey man, I like it. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just gonna tell you this right now. There are some things that teams, when they go through these spurts of trying to rebuild, right? There are some things that always get overlooked, as with anything, right? One of the main components to building a team, I think, has got to be bench. Players on your bench who are going to buy into the system and who are going to buy into what their roles are. Now, that doesn't mean it works every damn time, but it also means that the coach has got to understand strengths and tendencies of the players, of the guys on his team, right? Right now, the Lakers don't have anything on the bench that I would say is, for certain, because a lot of it, they picked up a couple of rookies. And the other thing is that they don't have a defensive stopper, right? One thing every team needs is a guy who is always balls to the walls on defense. He's a fucking problem, an irritant.
I like Jared Vanderbilt defensively, but
I do
he's
like
really
Jared
the only
Vanderbilt.
one.
The only problem with Jared Vanderbilt is, well, I won't even say it's a problem. I will say this past season, didn't he have an injury problem that kept him out a lot of games? Did he have Did he have an injury problem that kept him out a bunch of games this season, or was it last season?
Yeah, no, he did. He did.
Okay, that's.
Well, I don't know if it was because of. I don't know if these games played was because of injury or not, though.
Okay. Well, I thought it was. I thought it was because of injury. I thought he missed out because of some injuries. But even at that, Jared Vanderbilt,
He's
would
the only
be
one though, really.
he would be but you still need one like that, right? You still need
Yeah.
one guy that can cause problem. He's a disruptor, right? An irritant, a fucking problem, right? You can't, if you really need a defensive stop, he's a guy you can look to go get one for you, right? And on top of that, like I said, they need to get younger. They need to build. When it comes down to it,
Yes.
there's always these little things, that you have to go through, right? And no matter
I do
what,
like Jake. I do like Jake LaRavia defensively too, though. He's very active. He's not no like lockdown or nothing like that.
I'll just
I
say,
do like him.
y'all have a lot to.
We got work to do. Yeah,
You
we
got a lot
definitely
of
got
work
work
to
to do.
do, right?
Yeah, we definitely do. I agree.
Before, I mean, because the first thing I heard from LeBron fans is, "Oh, we got 8 and we getting ready to." I said, "Man, we y'all slow the fuck
Bro.
down. Come on now."
And I really do like the Aiden signing. Like I think
It's a good signing.
it's a sign. Well, you weren't gonna get nothing better than that at the 5 position with what was
No,
available than
no,
that.
he has a nice little jump shot from about 12 to 15 feet out. Uh,
Yeah,
he's got
he's
pretty
gonna get you
decent footwork.
rebounds.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
pretty
gonna get you
decent footwork.
rebounds. He gonna score. Like he
Yeah,
can pretty much do whatever. He can do what Luka needs him to do,
yeah,
which is rebound, catch lob dunks, score,
yeah.
play a
You
little
need,
defense. He'll get you a
yeah,
block or two a game.
yeah. You need a guy
You know
that
what I'm
can,
saying?
kind of patrol the paint a little bit, come help weak side, if he needs to. But like I said, that's just what it is. And see, look, I gave you a chance to rant on here tonight. I gave you a chance to rant about your team and what's happening
Look,
and the bullshit
look.
that you've had to hear and endure from fans or LeBron fans, not Laker fans, but LeBron fans mostly, I'm sure, about how, you're not you're basically a LeBron hater because you think they should get rid of LeBron. I don't think that's a far-fetched idea to get rid of his ass. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's not even. And look, I reiterate again. Look, y'all know I'm not a fan of LeBron, but this specific instance, like this situation with the Lakers, this ain't even about me not liking LeBron. This is about me thinking about them moving forward and into the next phase of the Lakers. This is no longer LeBron's team no more, y'all. This
No.
that 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 little era of LeBron is over. That is done with. That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, like it's
I
time. It's
got
time
a
to move on.
I got a question for you then, because this should really be good. So, if by what you just said, it's not his team no more. Let me ask you this: is LeBron James the face of the league still?
No, what? Okay, look, I'll put it this way. LeBron, look, I'll put it this way. Look, I'll give him this. He is still a big talking point. Like people gonna talk about LeBron. Like
Okay.
even when the Lakers are ass, like they'll be like, oh, LeBron will still be a story, right? Do I think he's the face of the league? No. I think you could easily give that to players like I would even maybe SGA. But you know what's funny about that whole face of the
Interesting.
league thing though?
What?
Like I really want to say it's Giannis, but I feel like I can't though. But that's because of the simple fact that he's been losing. But it's not of his fault necessarily. But he's just not
Huh.
on a good enough team. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I feel like I'll put it this way, man. The Bucks have really been they've been letting Giannis down, man. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah.
These
They
last these last what I'll say what 3 years.
is it because of them, or is it because they just don't have the money and the assets to sign anybody worth of shit?
But they don't draft worth the shit either.
They really don't.
They don't. They
Whoever
suck.
whoever their scouts are, they're horrible.
They are bad. That
Uh,
so since 20, they won in 20. He won in 2019, 2020, right? Yeah. So that's when they won a championship. Bro,
oh,
this
was
man
it?
has put up.
Damn.
This man has put up since then 20 what 28 6 and 11, 30 6 and 12, 31 6 and 12, 36 and a half and 12, 36 and a half and 12. And he's been top 5 in MVP voting every single year. And he's still playing, bro. This man's still playing still all NBA defense. Still get like the team has just been bad, bro. They have not been good, and he has been hurt a couple times too, in the playoffs specifically. But
Okay, so
he's been playing like pretty much most of the season.
we're not gonna say it's
I don't
Giannis
know.
because, like you said, Giannis is in a bad situation. He hasn't been able to get to the playoffs and win. Well, he's gotten to the playoffs and been put out, right? Uh, pretty
Yeah, it's kind
early.
of hard to like say he's the face. I don't know. It's
We
kind of hard to
we
say he's the face of the league.
we won't say it's Duncan. I mean, we won't say it's KD. We won't say.
Nah,
I mean, I don't know. I won't say it's Curry either.
I don't even know who you would give that. Who I don't even think it's SGA either.
I don't think it's necessarily SGA either because he's in a small market and it doesn't. They don't necessarily get the love, right? Uh,
Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. With Tatum hurt, right? And I don't
yeah,
think Tatum was ever in that. Do you think he was ever in that conversation?
no.
For
I'm gonna
like
tell
face of
you
the
why.
league?
I'm gonna tell you
I
why.
think Luca. I actually think Luca can take it with the Lakers, though.
The reason why I won't ever say I won't say it's been Tatum here. These first 7 years. The main reason why is because Tatum tends to be really low key, right? Doesn't show a lot of emotion. And the one
He doesn't
thing
have that
players,
personality.
yeah,
Yeah, like
it just he don't have it like that, right? Uh, people they tend to be drawn to people who are, you know, have that kind of fire in their, in them, right? The fire in their belly, passionate, right? He doesn't do that, and neither does Jalen Brown, even though he has just a little bit more than Tatum. So I can't give it to him either. And it's not anybody that just comes right out and says it to me. The only person I can think of that could be the face of the league or is trending in that area is Anthony Edwards. That's the only one. He's brash a little bit, young. He's got the smile.
I actually think Luca can though,
Luca
especially
can,
now
Luca can, but
with the Lakers. It's because he's on the Lakers though. Like I think the Lakers,
yeah,
if he goes out and has a fire year, maybe even redeems himself on the defensive end of the ball, and let's say they go. Look, I don't think they're gonna go to a finals this year,
yeah.
but let's say they get to the second round, third round ish, maybe. I don't know. I mean, look, I can see Luca winning like an MVP or something like that and having a crazy year.
Yeah.
And then you having them kind of conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think
I
him
just
being on the Lakers kind of changes things just a little bit. You
I
know,
just kind
like
of wonder because everybody, I don't know if anybody else can tell. I mean, even with Halliburton, right? If Halliburton had been able to stay healthy throughout Game
yeah,
7 and maybe pulled off some kind of miraculous, win, or another last second shot for a win in Game 7. I mean, you never know. That could have, changed his fortunes tremendously because he was trending in that area, right? During this playoffs, he was just ascending up because of these last second game winners,
face
and
of the league though.
it could have. I'm not saying he could have been. I'm saying he could have gotten to that point eventually if he'd have won, and then maybe they continued to step off of that and gotten better, and they're continuously in these talks about championships or whatever. I think within the next year or so he could have been in that conversation if he would have been consistent. But the thing is that he never did that, right? He was not able to do that because of the injury, for one, and number two, he's going to be out for another year because of the Achilles tear. So like I said, I don't
And this is
know.
why. This is why I need Luka to lock in this year. I need Luka to lock the fuck in. Because,
Yeah.
like I said, damn, he's on a like he gets an MVP, and this is only this will be his 8th year.
Yeah.
But obviously, he came in when he was 19, so he's still really young. But um, bro, this man has look 29, 28, 28, 32, 34, 28, 28, 28. Like he get an MVP and show the world, because like I don't necessarily think you got to win a championship to show, at least for that specific year, to show that you're the best player in the world at this current moment. Like for
Mm-hmm.
that year, because you know how it usually go. Usually, like they already doing the SGA. He won a championship. Now they're trying to deem him as the best player in the NBA. Did the same thing
Yeah.
with Nikola Jokic. Even though I don't necessarily agree, because I still think Giannis should have some. He should still be in the conversation with me. That's just me. But
Yeah. I get it.
I don't know, man. The NBA in a weird spot, man.
It is in a
But yeah,
weird
I
it's
think
in a
Luka.
kind of weird spot. It's a very weird
It,
spot
it
right now.
really, it really should be Giannis, but it can't be because of the team situation. But it should be Giannis, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know. Just gonna have to wait and see. I'm happy that the season is over. I can get back to football.
Oh yeah,
It's been it's
Dad.
been a
I am
long time.
so ready. I am so ready for football. Yo, the amount of shit talking everybody been doing on the. Oh, yo, look, I get it. We got our ass whooped in the Super Bowl. Look, hey, fair game. I'm all for it. You can talk your little shit if you're an Eagles fan, but if you're a Bengals fan,
Mm-hmm.
a Bills fan, especially, I don't want to hear shit from y'all. Bills fans, I
Mm.
need y'all to just zip it. I don't want to hear nothing. Y'all are losers. Always will be, at least for the moment. Yeah, look, Mahomes done beat y'all 4 straight times. You know what else happened to y'all 4 straight times? Or was it 3? Pretty sure it was 4. Didn't they go to 4 straight Super Bowls or some shit like that? Or 3 straight?
Yep. Yep.
They went to 4 straight. I know I'm not tripping.
Yeah.
And
They went.
lost. You know what Mahomes just reminded y'all of? That exact same feeling, except they wasn't in the Super Bowl.
Oh boy.
Listen.
Is
I
it?
don't want to hear nothing from Bills fans, Ravens fans. Y'all got to look. I need all these other teams in the AFC. I need y'all to chill. Eagles fans got that, okay? They got it. But
Yeah.
everybody else, y'all got to stop this, bro.
You know.
Stop. And then the Mahomes disrespect is,
Yeah.
oh my, yo, I
It's.
can't do it. I
You
can't
know
do it.
what? I'm okay with it. You know why?
I
Because
hope
I'm
Mahomes
gonna keep
goes fucking
receipts. I'm gonna keep receipts.
insane.
I want people to understand that everything you say, especially now, is recorded, right? And the same goes for us. Everything we say is recorded. But I do know I'm not knocking nobody's QBs or shit like that. I just say they haven't done it yet. The one thing you can't say
No,
about Mahomes
because
is he has. It's not that he
yeah,
hasn't done it yet. He's done it already. But the
but you know what,
disrespect is bad. It has gotten out of hand.
Dad, you know what irritates me though about the whole thing with Mahomes though, is they keep talking about like these last 2 seasons he hasn't been really all that great, right? Which is fair from the number standpoint. But here's the problem. I'm like, wait a minute. So you put any other quarterback in that exact same situation Mahomes was in. He had none of his weapons, bro. None of them. Look at the receipt, bro. we had 4 different left tackles in 1 year.
Yeah. Did you know? This is odd. I don't know if you know this. Do you know that every time that they've gone to a Super Bowl, they've had a different left
A
tackle?
different left tackle.
That
Exactly.
is crazy.
Now name me another quarterback that's been, because here's the thing that people don't understand when it comes to offensive line play. You have to have continuity.
Yeah.
There's no continuity with the line outside of like the middle, right? And the right side, right?
Yeah.
But the left tackle is the most. It's the left tackle is so important though, because compared to like all the other ones, because obviously it's their blind side.
Yeah.
You can't see that side, and
Unless
usually
it's a
they're facing
left-handed quarterback.
right, right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, but even then, they're usually facing also the tougher assignments as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm like, bro, there's not a lot of quarterbacks that could have did what Mahomes did in that situation, bro. And they still
No.
went 15-2. And then they'll be like, well, it's because of the defense. But I'm like, nigga, did you watch the end of games? That
Yeah.
wasn't the defense driving down the field all the
No.
time and putting points on the board and getting them in
Nope.
field goal position and shit like that.
No. That's why I said
Like,
I'm ready to get back to football. Uh, I think we've kind of hit this
yeah, I'm
lull
ready.
on basketball, uh, and I'm so done with talking to young cats about basketball. I'm just gonna tell you
Yeah, I'm
that
sick of it.
unless it's you, but for the most part, I'm done talking to young cats about basketball because I've noticed there's a trend to discredit anything that anybody else has ever done unless they grew up watching them and it was in their era. Because now I'm hearing about how Magic Johnson is overrated and all
Oh
this other
man,
shit. And I'm like, and I watched this on, what was it? The players, God dang it, what
first
was the name?
choice.
Yes, Players' Choice, the panel. And Ox said that he was watching, I think it was Ox, he said that he was watching some tape of Magic Johnson. It was 2 games. And he said, low key, he was over. I said, what are you fucking doing? This is
Man, these
what we're
niggas.
doing now. We're going after all the greats to try to make them seem like they weren't good now. And I don't understand it. So I am done talking basketball with young guys.
I'm
It
gonna tell
makes
you what. I'm look, especially with these LeBron fans. Y'all better hope KD don't get another ring. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now, because I'm gonna tell you. I'm being so dead ass. Look, I remember when everybody was talking that shit about the Suns team and how they was. No, listen, this Houston team ain't that Suns team. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now.
oh, they got some young pieces in
That
there too.
that Houston team. This is what people don't understand, bro. That Suns team gave up way too much, bro. They gave up their young core. All
Yeah.
the young little athletic players they had, they gave them up, right? Bro,
Yep.
the Rockets got a fucking bro. That team with Durant, this is the thing. Durant don't gotta worry about this nigga don't even gotta play defense no more. You
No.
don't need to.
Yeah.
This
Like I
nigga,
said,
this might be the first year. This might be the first year KD averaged 22 shots a game. I'm not kidding. You think?
mm,
All right, watch. I'm telling you,
he won't really
that
have to
team
do he won't really have to do much of he won't have to think a lot as far as where
exactly.
he'll be able to take his shots whenever he wants.
Especially if they get like a like I still do think they need another guard, like an actual playmaking guard
Yeah.
outside of Fred Vliet. Like I think they need another floor general.
Yeah.
But man, I'm telling you, people better watch out for that Houston team, man. Because look, I know we talk about teams on paper and stuff like that, but
Oh yeah.
that team looks really good and they play defense.
Yeah. And they I think didn't they just get through they just signed somebody to shit.
They just got Clint Capella.
Okay.
And then they got I'm about to look right now because they did have a few signings.
Yeah, they had a few signings.
Uh, see. So they
I know that.
re-signed Steven Adams.
Okay, yeah, that
Yeah,
was the.
they kept Steven Adams. They got Clint Capella. Um, they got Dorian Finney-Smith.
That's who it was. They got Dorian
Yeah,
Finney-Smith,
but that's what
and
I'm
let me,
saying.
and that right,
Defensively, they
yeah,
are going to be mad. Yo, I'm trying to tell you.
and Dorian Finney-Smith can shoot the rock.
Exactly.
So
And you still got Sengun and Reed Shepard still on his team.
yeah, give him some. Hey,
Like
hey,
Jabari Smith Jr.
yeah,
Listen, y'all, I'm trying to tell you.
he just re-signed too. I think too, didn't he?
Who?
Jabari Smith. I think he
Yeah, I think
just.
they re-signed him.
Yeah, I was gonna say he re-signed.
I
So,
think they
like I
re-signed
said,
him to.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
they
we're
extended him.
moving. I'm glad we're moving away from basketball. We're gonna be moving on to football now. I'm happy for this. I just want to know, are you gonna be in a good place now, Mike? That now we can move on to the team we both love and enjoy watching.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm
Because
ready for football. I'm ready for
I'm
Madden.
ready
I'm
for
ready
some
for
Chiefs football. I'm ready to
yeah. I'm
start,
ready for all that.
digging into it.
Oh, by the way, all you niggas that play Madden, y'all gonna hate me this year. Xavier Worthy gonna be in that end zone 7 times a game. I'm tell you that right
7
now.
times, damn.
Seven.
7. Well,
He gonna average like 200 receiving yards. I'm trying to tell you. All right.
here, here's my thing. I'm gonna give you this is early preseason prediction before the season ever starts. Football, and I'm gonna ask you this, and I just want you to, be honest. Give your who you think. Who will be, and it's 2 questions actually. Who will be the Chiefs' starting running back this season? And number two,
That's easy.
hold on. And number two, who will be the Chiefs' leading receiver this season?
Okay, starting running back. Look, I know y'all. I know y'all. There's been a little hate train going on with my boy, but I ain't gonna do my boy like that. Pacheco will be the starting running back. I'm gonna need y'all to like chill.
Okay.
Pacheco will be bearing like an injury or something,
Yes.
right?
Yes. We'll say
He
barring an
will
injury.
be. Yeah, unless like freaking like Smith goes like Jamal Charles in practice and does some unbelievable shit and
Yeah.
blows Andy Reid's, mind or something like that. Pacheco will be the starter. I'm gonna need y'all to. That's come on now. Receiver wise, now this is where it gets tricky because honestly, I think Rice or Worthy they could both be the receiving lead. Like you could go
Uh,
either way, bro.
you got to pick one. No, I said who will be the leading receiver on this team?
You know what? I think I'm gonna go Worthy.
Ooh,
I
for
think I'm gonna go
real?
Worthy. Yeah,
Okay. Hot
and
take.
listen, because here's the thing. Well, no, I won't say that they can use him, and because they do use Rice in a lot of different ways outside of
They
just
do. They do.
they do a lot of like uh, specific play calls and shit like that with him too. But
Yeah.
I just think with Worthy being such a deep threat, especially with Rice coming back, and then we'll have Hollywood. He'll
Mm-hmm.
have a lot more eyes. Like they'll have to pay attention to all the other receivers. They can't just key in on him no more, right? So
True.
he'll be open, and I think him and Mahomes are going to connect a lot more this year than what they did last year. I will remind y'all, Worthy should have had another 400 or 500 yards last year
Yeah.
and a couple touchdowns. Dad, literally, those touchdowns that he never scored on, where he stepped out of
Yeah.
bounds, or
Exactly.
him and Mahomes were just like barely off. That's
Yeah.
another 300 to 400 yards worth of receiving yards right there, and
Yep.
I would say about 4 touchdowns at
Probably
minimum.
so. Probably so.
Like that one
Okay.
where he stepped out of bounds and he was wide open. That's a touchdown. Like,
Yeah.
and that's like 80 yards right there.
I'll give you
Off of
that.
that alone.
I'll give
So
you
yeah, I
that.
think him and Mahomes. I think him and Mahomes are going to definitely connect a lot more than they did last year. And look, I know we got our ass beat in the Super Bowl, but you see what Xavier Worthy was out there doing?
Yeah, I did. I remember it.
Okay, all right. I think that sounds like yeah, we're gonna be seeing a lot of that this year. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
So that's what I'm gonna go with.
I'm
I'm gonna
not
go with
mad at
Worthy.
either one of those. You know, you want to pick Pacheco as, the starting running back, and you thinking Worthy. I mean, that's out of the box because I thought it would be close, but I was gonna just go with Rashee Rice. But even at that, though, like you said, Rice is coming back. We don't know how he's gonna look automatically. You know, we're
He looks
hoping
good though, from what I'm
we're
seeing. He
hoping that
does
he's
look
gonna
really
be
good.
good, but we'll see. But look, I don't have much more. Tomorrow's the 4th of July.
Man,
Yeah,
I
I'm
gotta
probably
work
yeah.
some
So
bullshit.
I'm actually gonna be hanging out at the pool all day tomorrow. I'm just letting you know. So uh, there's not much
That's
I'm gonna be
fine.
doing. Not much I'm gonna be doing. And all you people out there, just remember, stay safe. Fireworks are fun, but they are also dangerous. So be safe out there tomorrow or today by the time you guys see this. So, anyway, I've had fun. I'm glad you got to rant. I'm glad I got to hear it. Whew, it's going to be a long off season for y'all. Long off season. So, anyway, I have nothing more I want to talk about as far as the NBA. And if you guys have any questions or you have a comment, please leave it in the comment section. We don't get to talk to very many people. We are a smaller channel, so any comments, any likes, any shares are truly appreciated. For that, I am pretty much done with my evening of sports renditions of the LA Lakers and their follies with LeBron James. I don't want to even talk about him no more.
Fucking bad.
I'm tired of him. So anyway, I'm Big Temp. That's Mike LaFleur. We are the Cave Cast. We appreciate you guys. And we will be back again next week. Y'all take it easy.